The cold wind of New York swept through Manhattan's streets, carrying the faint smell of roasted chestnuts and exhaust fumes. In a small, dimly lit apartment, Reshma sat at her tiny wooden desk, a pencil in her hand, her notebook open, but her mind miles away. Life had left her stranded on the unforgiving streets of America, far from the warmth of her family. Her parents' sacrifices, her younger brother's hopes, and her own future, everything rested on her weary shoulders. Even amidst the dazzling lights of the city, Reshma felt darkness pressing in on her. Student loans loomed over her, shifts at the restaurant demanded endless hours, and rent was sky high. Her dreams of becoming a software engineer, of breaking free from the cycle of struggle, seemed fragile, almost laughably distant. As she jotted down formulas and code snippets, her phone buzzed. A message from her old friend, Amir. "Hey, got a tip about a side job, easy cash. You in?" Reshma stared at the screen, heart pounding. She knew the game. Quick money often came with quick danger. But the thought of finally paying off the debt, of giving her family breathing room, made her fingers tremble with temptation. She shut her eyes, imagining the faces of her parents, the way her little brother used to look up to her with innocent admiration. And then she heard it, an almost whisper inside her mind, a voice she didn't recognize but felt familiar: "Your future self is counting on you." It was as if her older self had appeared in the room, not as a ghost, but as a warning, a guide. She pictured herself 5 years from now, free from the crushing weight of debt, living the life she always dreamed of, smiling without fear. Could she betray that vision for a fleeting promise of easy cash? Reshma declined Amir's offer. She took a deep breath, feeling a small but growing flame of resolve. She decided to stay late at the library that night instead of the restaurant. Her fingers flew over the keyboard, lines of code forming like stepping stones across a turbulent river. Weeks passed, each day a battle. Reshma worked 2 jobs, went to classes, and stole hours of sleep to carve out a path toward her dreams. The exhaustion was brutal. There were nights she collapsed onto her bed, dreaming not of freedom, but of failure. She wondered if she was strong enough, if she would ever get there. One rainy evening, as she left her night shift at the diner, she saw a young woman huddled under the awning, shivering, drenched. Without thinking, Reshma handed her an umbrella and some cash. The woman's eyes welled up, and she whispered, "Thank you. I didn't know anyone would care." Reshma felt something shift inside her. It was the first time she realized that the struggles she endured weren't just for herself, they were for others, too. Every act of discipline, every refusal to take the easy way out, every night spent grinding toward her goals was laying a foundation, not just for her own life, but for the world she could touch. Months later, she finally landed an interview at a reputable tech company. Nerves gripped her as she walked into the glass building, towering over the city streets below. She remembered that whisper again: "Your future self is counting on you." The interview was grueling. They challenged her with problems she had never seen, asked questions that made her palms sweat. But she drew on. Every late night, every sacrifice, every moment of doubt turned into determination. And when the interview ended, the panel smiled. "Welcome to the team, Reshma." She stepped out of the building into the afternoon sun, feeling the rain-washed streets glisten. The city that had once felt like an endless maze of struggle now seemed alive with opportunity. Her phone buzzed. It was Amir. "Hey, still want that side job?" Reshma smiled. She typed back, "I'm busy building my future. Maybe you should be too." That night, as she called her family back home, her voice trembling with joy, she realized the truth of the whisper she had heard months ago. Life had thrown countless temptations, fears, and setbacks at her. But by listening to that voice, by thinking of her future self, she had found a path not just to survival, but to dignity, hope, and real freedom. In the quiet of her apartment, Reshma looked at the notebook still open on her desk. On the first page, she had scribbled a single sentence: "Your future self is counting on you." It wasn't just a warning, it was a promise. And for the first time in a long time, she believed she could keep it.